In this video, we're going to be talking about DeFi yield tips and tricks, because no matter if the markets are pumping or if they've pulled back, as we've seen, the DeFi yield does not stop whatever the weather. So with no further ado, let me bring up my partner in crime, Mr. Just Ask Jesse in the house. Whoa, what an entrance.
What's up?
I think people need to be cheered up, actually. So that was just what the doctor ordered. As we've seen, a bit of a pullback across the markets in all the crypto markets and the Pulse chain ecosystem. What do you make of it, Jesse? What are you thinking about this?
Oh, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world. You got some, some countries who may be at conflict with each other, which always leads to people dumping their assets in the stock markets and in crypto. You've got the Bitcoin halving. Often people like to dump that. I don't know if that's like the miners who are like, oh, now we're getting half as many rewards as we used to. Let's dump. So those dumps sometimes do last around the Bitcoin halving for like several months. So we could be in for some pain for a little while, but crypto is so unpredictable. Just because things have happened before doesn't mean that they're going to happen again. But some of these things are also self-fulfilling prophecies. So like if people look at the charts and they say, oh, every Bitcoin halving, these things dump, then people dump because they think that it's supposed to dump, right? So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So who knows, right?
There's definitely that. I think people always think things are going to happen and then it goes the other way.
Right. So we'll see what happens, luckily there's strategies to make money in down and in up markets. You and I talk about this all the time. How do you yield? And like something I like, how do you yield with stable coins? Because how do you lose when you're holding something that's worth $1 and you're making money, and regardless if the markets are going down, you're still making value. You're earning either fees or some sort of incentive token that's being emitted out to you. Your number only goes up, right? Even if the markets are going down, your value is only going up. That's why, I'm a little bit of a stablecoin maxi, because I like when the number only goes up, right?
Well, I think what's happened, the recent downturn in crypto has highlighted that, of course, most people, if not everyone, is in crypto for speculation. But speculation alone is a risky business, especially when you see big pullbacks like this, right?
Yeah. And for every, in the speculation game, for every one person that makes a ton of money, there's always going to be many, many smaller fish that lost a lot of, lost some value. These speculative things only have, it's basically the way these pools work. Somebody throws $1 into a pool, means somebody else can get $1 out of a pool. So when you hear about a guy who made 50x, that value came from other people who are hoping that but it won't for many of them, right? The people threw their money into that pool doing a swap, and those early people were able to extract that value. And that's the risk with any speculative thing. You've got to be super early. There has to be continued adoption after you. And then you also have to be able to take profits before somebody else takes profits on top of you, right? So when you're playing the stablecoin game and you're yielding, and you're liquidity providing stable coins and doing various things that I talk about a lot, those same risks don't apply, right? When you have a fully redeemable stable coin that's always pegged to $1 worth of something, but you can still make value out of it by staking it in a stability pool or putting it in PHUX stable swap pool. Now you're just earning value no matter what, right? And I love that.
So, well, one thing you're great at is breaking this kind of stuff down for the layman. So let's say someone's new to Pulse Chain, they've got some stables. Let's talk about some plays on how they can get some yield on top of that.
Yeah, so some real simple yield would be to drop it into a PHUX pool, like the Bridge and Oracle, or the Oracle and Bridge stable pool.
Yeah,
which is a 5 token pool. You've got USDC, USDT, DAI, PXDC, and USDL in there, and you can put any combination in there. If you only have one of these stables, you can just put one of them, right? If you've only got a little bucket of USDT, for example, you don't need equal proportions of these. You can just bring what you have and drop it in the pool. It'll rebalance for you so that you have the correct proportions. And now you're sitting in this pool. You've got a mixture of all 5 of these stables, and people are always swapping around in these, right? People are always selling their USDL for USDT, and other people are selling their DAI for PXDC. And this happens constantly, all day long, every day. Over the last, it says 90 days here, which you might want to change that 90 days to a smaller time frame. We haven't been live that long yet. I guess that's as short as we can go. So we're looking at like 30-ish days, really. We've got $46 million worth of volume flowing around, simply from people swapping stablecoins back and forth. Some of that is arbitrage that happens through bots people have created. Sometimes that's people selling their PXDC for Pulse, but it routes it through DAI first and stuff like that. And so a lot of volume flows through these type of pools where there's just stables in them, right? You can literally have people that are not even swapping into a stable. They're swapping into PulseX or Pulse or Hex or something else they like. But the routing will take them through this pool because there's better order execution of DAI paired to Pulse, for example, than like PXDC paired to Pulse, right? So much volume is flowing through these pools, and all you're doing is essentially staking into these pools, and you're making trading fees, and you're also making yield in.
Jesse seems to be having a little bit of technical issues there. He's frozen. Hopefully he'll come back soon. But touching on the PHUX pools, for people that want to, are you back, Jesse?
Yeah, sorry. I didn't know if that was you or me. You can earn between 10 and 30% typically, depending on what the markets are doing. What's it at now?
Between 11 and 17.
11.5 and 18 at the market, or at the current market conditions, right? If the market, if we were in like a little bit better of a bull market, these numbers would be between 20 and 30% yield.
I think a facet that I'd like to touch on, and I think why, correct me if I'm wrong, why you're more of a stablecoin maxi is, of course, anyone could earn fees by becoming an LP for multiple sets of tokens, but there is that impermanent loss, right, that you could suffer if one of the tokens in the pair that you're LPing for takes off, or what's not on the market turns against you. This is much lower, right, in a stablecoin pool like this.
Absolutely. The risk of impermanent loss is pretty much if one of those stable coins were to fully collapse, a death spiral. And that's why we choose only stable coins that are fully backed, fully redeemable. The collateral is always there. There's excess collateral in the system. So then we avoid those types of stable coins when we build these sorts of pools. Now, something else to consider. Just because I preferred to do these sort of strategies doesn't mean that I don't also speculate, right? There's like, maybe I like to buy meme coins. I don't know. I may never publicly admit that. Maybe I like to buy PulseX, or I like to buy more Pulse or something, right? Now, when you're in these type of pools and you're earning the trading fees, imagine every day or every other day being able to just shave off your trading fees that you're earning and just constantly buying more of the thing you want. You're essentially getting the coins that you want, whether it's Hex or PulseX or Pulse, for free, right? Because you're taking the fees that you're earning by simply being in this pool, and you're using those to go buy the things that you like, right? You're not having to come forward with your fresh capital from your paycheck or from your bank account or whatever. You're holding on, you're preserving your bag in the form of stables. You're yielding off of that, and you're taking that yield and you're going and you're buying the things that you like to constantly.
I mean, it's definitely, like you said, better than putting fresh cash in there or other cash that you're working, maybe you're having to put it through a centralized exchange, send it to your MetaMask, and then swap on a DEX, where, like you said, you're getting yield on your stable coins that will be sitting in your wallet anyway, and then you're taking that and buying what you want. So you're going to get the best of both worlds.
And you're eliminating some risk there, where it's like, well, if you did come forward and bought some meme coin or something with your fresh capital, and that thing went to zero, you'd feel pretty bummed. You're like, oh, I lost all that money. But if you're doing it with money that you got for free just for being in this pool, you don't feel as bad when you do make a bad play, right? When the price goes down, you're like, whatever. I literally, that was free money I got from the trading fees. Hopefully it goes up, but if it goes down, no big deal, right?
Absolutely. Talking about more yield, we got a question about Amplifier here. When's it coming out? Obviously, Amplifier, for people that don't know, is a front end for both the Earn protocol and the Liquid Loans protocol, and allows you to automate certain strategies. So that is coming soon.
Yep. We are, we keep saying we're really close to releasing it to a public test net so everyone can check it out and practice play with it before we just go straight to mainnet with it. It has some nuances to it that people will want to take a look at. We also understand that not everybody cares about the testnet anymore, right? So we may find that we launch that and we get 2 users from the community trying it on testnet, and then it's like, well, okay, we'll go to mainnet with it. But we are very close. We've got it on testnet. We're using it daily, and you should be able to see that soon. We got some other surprises coming. Some mainnet things that'll be launching very soon, which I'm not going to talk about now. But just as we've always said, we don't stop building, and we will continuously release new things that feed that core. The core is a central staking platform where you can stake your Watt tokens, get some AMP shares, and you can earn fees from all our protocols. So we are right on the brink of launching some other things that the community's been begging for. That is going to massively feed some fees into this core. We're very excited about that.
Well, that's a perfect segue to switch to staking, because we've touched on stablecoin plays, but I think staking is what a lot of people know in the community. It's a great way to dip your toe, I think, into the world of DeFi yield. So let's touch on the core and how all the current dApps and coming dApps are going to be feeding fees into that.
Yeah, so if you click on collector, let's see what we've got so far. Fees pending, 13 PXDC. So I guess people are clicking that button. Look at this. The stakers in the core have so far collected 84,602 PXDC. That is, there's the stakers directly in Earn protocol, by the way, who have they've earned their PXDC over there as well. This is just a portion that's fed the core. So in less than a month, or about a month or so, 84,000 stablecoins have been fed to the core, right? So, if it keeps up at this rate, we'll be over $1 million in a year. And that's just from Earn protocol, right? PXDC is also, or PulseX is also from Earn Protocol. 1.6 billion have been fed. From the Portal X bridge, there's been about half a billion wrapped pulse. And the next thing will feed a new token, 2 new tokens actually into here. At a pretty alarming percentage of that protocol will be feeding this core, right? So over on the right hand side, the core assets, where does it show that? Well, right now you can see PXDC, PulseX, and Wrap Pulse. You're going to see 2 new tokens pop up on there that are also feeding the core. And then when we launch Amplifier, you're going to see things like USDL start feeding into the core. And some additional pulse or wrapped pulse feeding into the core. So each protocol that we launch feeds more and more assets into the core.
And if you want to obviously be part of that and be a staker in the core and enjoy those rewards, you'd come in here, you'd go to this stakes tab, and you connect your wallet and you can create a stake here. You can either stake the Watt token, or you can become a liquidity provider and stake your PLP tokens in here, which actually get a 1.5 bonus over Watt. So that's how you become a staker in the core, and then you start collecting a percentage of all these fees, right?
Yep. Now this tab here is just where the fees land for the community to disperse them amongst all the stakers. So this tab here, sometimes people get it confused. They think that they go and they claim their portion by clicking collect fees. This collect fees is more of a distribute fees. Maybe we should have a discussion on the team. That's not just a sole decision I can make, but distribute fees. You click that button and it basically takes the fees pending and it distributes those to all of the stakers in the core. Now, when you go to your stakes tab, you'll see your portion ready for claim, right? So if you had a stake, which you don't currently have one here, Matt, but if you had a stake, you would go there. You could see a little gift box shaking back and forth. You can click that, or you can click collect fees, or what's the button called? Collect rewards. Claim rewards. Claim rewards. Yeah. You click that, and your portion of those fees that were dispersed now are liquid in your wallet for you to do whatever you want with. So it was very important for us to build this collector tab. That way it's all community driven. There's nothing the team has to do to disperse these things. When people use Earn Protocol, the fees just flow, for example. And then anybody can call the function that disperses those fees to each other. It doesn't require a treasury wallet that we control or anything like that. We wanted this as trustless as possible. And here it is.
Another really cool feature about the core and your stakes in the core, they're represented by an NFT, which you can sell or transfer to another address, even with rewards pending. You don't have to unstake it. So in the future, you could sell that on a marketplace like Pixel Park, which is coming soon as well from Power City. So there's lots of flexibility when you stake here. It's not like you're locked in for a certain amount or you can't move it. You can even move that to another address, even with pending rewards. So yeah, lots of flexibility there. Staying on the staking topic, Earn has some places you can stake, and I guess stability provide / staking. I guess that kind of fall under the staking umbrella. Let's talk about that for a bit.
Yeah, so in Earn Protocol, if you take your stable coins and you simply stake them in the stability pool, you're in that pool so that when there's a liquidation, you can buy that liquidated Pulse X at a discount. Liquidations aren't happening. Like, there's been barely any liquidations. On occasion, there's somebody who it looks like on purpose will collateralize at a very low level, like 112% or something, and they'll end up getting liquidated. When that happens, some of your PXDC burns, you actually pick up Pulse X at a discount, and you are in profit. You're up a little bit from what you were before. And you can swap that back into stable coins. So now your stability pool position can be bigger, for example. You can do whatever you want with those Pulse X. So the other incentive for being in that stability pool is you're being emitted earn tokens. And that's what you need to go stake to earn the fees in the protocol. The fees being in Pulse X and in PXDC.
So every time someone uses the protocol, there's a fee, a small fee, whether you're opening a vault, so you're minting some PXDC, or whether you're redeeming some PXDC for the underlying collateral, which is Pulse X, and those go to the earn stakers. So people are using the protocol every day. Fees are being taken from each time someone uses the protocol, and those go to the earn stakers. Just want to touch on something. Someone's asking, are there no fees coming from the bridge? And I think
there are fees. Those do not happen daily. So in protocols like Earn, it happen instantly. But when you're looking at something like a bridge, remember, we have bridging partners. We have Rubik, we have Change Now, we have all these entities that we work with that have a percentage of the fees that they scrape also. So there's some delay there, and we're also working with over 60 some blockchains, right? It's very, very difficult to have smart contracts deployed on 60 different chains and then interconnect them all through their own bridges to automatically route all the fees through our partners and back into Pulse, and right. So these things for Portal X specifically, the fees are not daily. They're more like monthly, just as info.
Let's also talk about ways to farm Earn, because that's still live at the moment, but that's not going to be there for long, is it? So if we go to the utilities tab here, we can see if you liquidity provide here, you can then take your PLP tokens and stake them and then farm Earn tokens, right?
Yep. Go to PulseX, liquidity provide PXDC to PulseX, or earn the PulseX.
There's a quick shortcut here on the utilities tab too.
Mm-hmm. And then take those receipt tokens, those PLP tokens they're called, bring those back into this protocol, stake them, and then you'll collect the earn tokens for having done that, right? Mm-hmm. Those don't last forever. You can see how many tokens are left to emit. How many days are left?
There's about 18 days left.
All right.
So TikTok basically. We've got
now when that ends. Remember, I talked about PHUX protocol, which is where like kind of the best liquidity is for stablecoins, just because of the formula that's used: X plus Y equals K instead of X times Y equals K, I believe. So just because you may be liquidity providing on PulseX currently doesn't mean you have to stop liquidity providing when you're done. You could just go liquidity provide somewhere else and earn a different token other than earn token. You could be earning PHUX token instead.
So we've got multiple ways to earn DeFi yield, whether the markets are going up and going down. You're a self-professed stablecoin maxi, which you like to sit in those pools. So you've got the PHUX, like we've talked about today. We've got staking options in the core, in Earn. There's liquidity providing. We also didn't touch on, but how can you become a liquidity provider really simply in the core by using the Zapper function as well. So you've got multiple options for staking, for liquidity providing, and also 18 days left to farm earn tokens if you want to take your PLP tokens, your LP tokens, and stake those in the earn protocol. So even if the markets are going down, there's still ways to make yield. And like Jesse said, it's better to be taking that money, or not better, it's up to you what you want to do, but also you can speculate on things where you've earned DeFi yield without putting fresh capital into the market. So I think that's quite attractive to a lot of people. Anything else, Jesse, you want to touch on before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, it's always interesting when I see people like point out the charts. And I cannot speculate on prices of Power City things could go up, they could go down, right? I can't make any forward-leading statements, but people need to remember that those tokens earn yields, right? So the stable coin, well, that's worth $1 of, PulseX, but you yield with that, right? You get things when you stake it. The earn token itself, the price may go up, the price may go down, but guess what? That's not the whole picture. You're earning things while you have it staked. You're earning, in some cases, lots of PulseX, and a bit of PXDC. So the whole picture is not always represented simply by looking at a chart. And there are people who would prefer these things to be cheap. Imagine if you're a guy who scooped up, 8, 9, 10% of the entire supply. And now you own 10% of all the fees that ever route through Earn Protocol, right? Can you do that if the price was 100x higher? Probably not. Wouldn't be possible. It would take too much money. If the price was low, is it possible? Yeah, maybe it's possible. Maybe you can literally scoop up yourself 5 to 10% of the supply and then be like, holy cow. The only way I was able to do that is because the token was cheap, and look at all these fees that I'm earning forever now. So all I ask is that people, speculate, look at the chart. This isn't a mission token that serves a specific purpose of staking it for the fees. That part of it, you need to take a really good hard look at, because the chart and the price is only a portion of the picture.
Wise words, wise words. I'll let you sign out today. So take it from here.
What do people want? Let's see.